I know many of us are riding the ReZero Season 3 wave right now because of the glorious information that we got, but let's not forget about another series that won us over when it aired, and that is Mushoku Tensei Season 2. That got announced a while back, and we finally got some more information on when it's going to air, the director that's working on it, a little bit more of the staff, and also a new key visual and, a PV trailer that, came out with all this information. And I gotta say, just going on record, I'm gonna start off the video just saying this. I like the PV trailer. I really do like the PV trailer. I don't think it's the best PV trailer I've ever seen. I'm gonna keep it real. But I do like the PV trailer. Now, from my knowledge, I don't think that this trailer is pre-animated. I think that this is actually footage from the episodes. I could be wrong there. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't believe that this is pre-animated footage, which is a good sign if that is the case. But, anyways, let's get on topic. So, the PV trailer, I personally enjoy. I think it gets the point across of what to expect, some returning characters, some nice background visuals, etc. It's a legitimately enjoyable, trailer. I think that, it kind of hints at what to expect. You can clearly see that there's been a little bit of a time skip. Rudy's a little bit older looking. After the events of Season 1, we get to see a little bit of the magic showcasing. It looks like a legitimately interesting trailer. Now, here's the thing. Despite all these good things I'm saying about it, there has been some that have offered complaints. They have said complaints about this PV trailer. And I do think to some extent the complaints are warranted. And I do think it's fair to talk about them because obviously I have seen complaints on that end. So before I get into those complaints though, let's talk about the key visual. So the key visual that came out as well with the PV trailer is this one. And if you're wondering why this looks kind of similar to something you might have seen, it's because it's a reference to the first key visual of Season 2 we got a while back, like I think a year ago. So, when you see this, it's like, so they reference each other. You see the characters, they swap, places and all that. I really like this. I like the, the nice little attention to detail with, this, key visual teaser, so to speak. I think that this is nice. I do. I know many might have expected something better or more, I guess, with a flair to it, but I think the way this key visual kind of references each other, I don't know, this is perfect. It's really nice. But, besides that, we also got the director announcement that is going to be working on Season 2, and as you can see here, there is some things that people obviously might be worried about because the new director hasn't really worked on a huge list as the same as the original director of Mushoku Tensei Season 1. I'll talk more about this in a second. Then we need to talk about a trusted source, which I talked about in my ReZero video, and I'm going to mention it again because as more information continues to come out of ReZero, and also, Mushoku Tensei, this individual right here seems to be more and more accurate on what he was talking about. And once again, I don't know if this is because they got very lucky, or they really did know months prior, as you can see here when this was posted, on who the director would be for Mushoku Tensei Season 2, but also all the episode counts, etc. that was revealed, like how long it would be and all that, saying that, Mushoku Tensei, will be 3 parts long. That still is yet to be confirmed, but the point still stands, is that it's clear that the individual, a trusted source, is seeming more and more likely to be a trusted source, despite the memes, etc. So those fake leaks are looking a little bit more legitimate. Now, anyways, let's get into the actual complaints that I have been hearing about. So, one big thing I've been seeing a lot of people talk about, and it is associated with the new director, is that this PV trailer, despite obviously me saying it's good, there is some inconsistencies with some character designs. Like, if you look at, Rudy's character right here, I know that this is an in-between frame, okay? And I know we shouldn't judge a whole product on an in-between frame. I want to keep it real, we shouldn't. But people have pointed out that there is a lot of little frames throughout the trailer to where Rudy doesn't look normal. Like, I don't know, the way his facial structure is drawn to the eyes, the way they're structured and all that, looks a little bit off. And I do see what people are talking about when it comes to that. Because obviously, the series is coming out this July. That's not that long from now. It isn't. And if this isn't pre-animated, this is kind of showcasing, what to expect. But, if this isn't pre-animated, there is a lot of time to correct this and make this better. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't. But I can see why some would complain. In fact, if there is an area to complain about or be worried about, it would be the director change. And I think that this is something that needs to be talked about over anything else. Because, obviously, Mushoku Tensei Season 1, I don't think would be the same if it wasn't for this man right here that was directing Season 1. Like, he directed it, he wrote some script for it, he was a big part. I'm not saying just him, the whole staff was important. Even, you know, Hiroki here, that was the assistant director, they were all very important. I'm not putting this man down as well. I'm just saying that a director is a huge part of the structuring of an anime. I would dare say the staff and the director is more important just than the studio. I want to keep it real. And so when you think about, you know, how this director is not technically directing, you know, Season 2, there is some cause for concern. There might be some differences in the way the story is structured, etc., especially since this individual puts so much into the script, etc., of, you know, Season 1, as you can see here. As for, you know, Hiroki here, he only was, you know, an assistant director. He didn't do the script, etc., so it is a little bit worrisome when you factor all of that in. But anyways, getting on to the main point, though. This individual right here, which is the new director, has not worked on a lot of stories. It's clear that he's not, from my assumption, a, you know, industry veteran. He's not worked in the industry for, like, decades now. He doesn't have, like, a list of anime like, you know, Manabu here that has a bunch of different things he's worked on over the years, like 2015 here to, you know, 2014. You know, obviously, Manabu isn't, like, the biggest veteran in the industry. There's people that's been working on anime since like the 1990s, 80s, etc. But the point is that he clearly has a lot of, you know, time and effort in the industry, and he's proven that he has worked on some pretty big titles. So when you look at, you know, the new director, the only thing he's worked on, as we can see here, is being an assistant director for Mushoku, which I think, if there's a way to start, or a point to start, would be Mushoku Tensei. So, I do think that is some good acknowledgement there. I'm just trying to say that if there's anything to worry about, is how the director will handle the structuring of Season 2. That is the first and most important thing. Now, besides that, I do want to talk about also how we got a little bit more of the staff. Like, you know, we got, like, the music creator as well, who's going to be making the music for it, etc. You know, he apparently worked on the original Mushoku, so the same music composition, all that's going to be the same. So I think that's completely fine, so no complaints there. It just, once again, the only real mix-up is the director, which goes back to a trusted source and how he kind of talked about this in February 10th, and this was a leak. So seeming more and more likely, which, if we're going to, let's go on a limb here. Let's just assume that this individual does know what they're talking about, and it isn't just an educated guess. If Mushoku Tensei Season 2 is 3 parts long, that means it would be 30-something episodes. I don't necessarily think that's bad. I think that would be a good amount of, you know, episodes to really cover the content for what we're about to get into and all that. I think Volume 7 through 14 or 12, somewhere around there. I forget the exact volume count, but I think it's actually a good amount of episodes to be able to cover that. I don't think it would be bad. So, overall, the Mushoku Tensei news isn't bad. I don't think that we should necessarily think it's going to be doom and gloom and a failure. I do think that, you know, yeah, there's going to be probably some inconsistencies, maybe a little bit of differences, but I don't think it's going to be bad. That is my assumption. I could be wrong there, but I don't think we should automatically write everything off, because obviously the new director has worked on the first one. I don't think he's going to want to ruin the project that already has so much time and attention to detail put into it. Just gonna keep it real. But, yeah, I guess I'll wrap it up here. I just wanted to talk about this. I like the PV trailer. Once again, I'm going to go on record and say that. I like it. I have no complaints whatsoever. The only thing I could see people being worried about truly is this. So, yeah. I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for, you know, watching this video. I do greatly appreciate it. And with that, be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.